Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I am Casey, and I do videos about my journey, my life. Um, Mostly, it's been very focused on budgeting and on moving. And this video, I'm doing a check-in. This is kind of weird because I wasn't going to do the check-in at first. I was thinking about doing a check-in. I'm not sure when you'll see it, if I'll put it up or not. Um, I just will have to wait and see if I'll put it up or not. Okay, so today is, let me check the date. Oh man, I am 4 steps away from making my step goal today. Today is June the 3rd, 2021. Yesterday was June 2nd, 2021. And I had yeah, I'm moving my feet and my hands. So my step thing just went off and was like, you did your steps. That's so funny. Okay, that helped me lighten the mood a little bit. Okay, um, so those of you who follow me, um, know that I mentioned that I was going to have another appointment in the process of moving. So I had my appointment yesterday, and the appointment did not go as I expected it to go. It wasn't all bad. It really, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, it probably wasn't bad. It's probably because of the situation that I'm in and how my mind works that I am feeling all these feelings. So, we're in a virtual world, so we have to do everything virtually, which means all the paperwork that I need to turn in for the housing program, I have to do virtually. So I have to print out the documents, fill them out, scan them, email, upload, and all of that stuff. So I did all of that stuff, and you have to upload it and everything before the meeting. So on the day of the meeting, she was like, Miss Sebron, hi. Um, I have news, and I know it's going to be a little disappointing, but a lot of your paperwork just would not come through. And my heart just sank when she said that because it was so much paperwork. So she was just going through each item with me and saying what wouldn't print, what they couldn't accept. And so some of it boiled down to using a blue ink pen instead of a black ink pen. Who knew? I didn't know. This girl didn't know that I needed to use black ink pens on all the paperwork. Another thing was I have a at-home printer, scanner, copier. Apparently this one isn't the best quality, so the things that were sent were a little blurry. The things that I had to use my copier for, they were blurry. But some other things weren't. So it's just like random on what was blurry and what wasn't blurry. Again, how do I fix that? It's virtual. I can't come in and hand you the paper. Because if I hand you the paper, it doesn't matter what color ink. But I can't do that now because y'all are still closed because of the world situation. So I am feeling, in that moment, I was feeling very defeated. However, she was so positive. And she was just listening to me what she needed and trying to explain things because some of the things she was saying I just clearly didn't understand. Like there's a thing, a letter of explanation. And I just didn't understand what I gave you the letter that my daughter wrote because it was from my daughter. It's some things on my account that my daughter um, was making deposits into my account because she had lost her bank card. So, or something happened with her bank card. She was making deposits into my account, and I would send the money via Cash App because that's the card she had. And, we all use Cash App. That needed to be explained because the appearance was, it looked like income. It looked like my daughter was paying me for something. So that had to be explained. And the letter that my daughter wrote wasn't a clear explanation, but I really thought it was a clear explanation. And she was trying to really explain to me this is what the underwriters are going to look at. And what we're trying to do is create the best, most clear explanation for everything. So we don't want to leave anything ambiguous for the underwriters so you can get the best approval. In that moment, I was just thinking. But she was really, really doing her best to push me back up, to explain it all to me. And I could hear it in her voice that she was trying her best to. So I was just saying, yes, ma'am. Okay. All right, I understand. And she was like, so here's the thing. You have 10 days. Can you give me all this stuff in 10 days? Yes, ma'am. So I have 10 days to get, and all the stuff really isn't a lot. And see, here comes where I'm going to come back on the up of this story. All the stuff, honestly, isn't a lot. It was just kind of in that moment, it felt like everything was caving in. And I was like, this is not going to happen. All the insecurities and everything was starting to build up and come in on me. So she was like, okay, if you can, even if you send me one email at a time, one piece of document at a time, just send it. Just send it to me. You have 10 days. And I was like, okay, yes, ma'am. And so I got off the phone and she sent me an email. I mean, we talked through and I wrote down a list of things that she needed. And then she sent me an email and everything. And I printed out the forms again. And I really had to look through my stuff to find a black ink pen because I just don't naturally use black ink pens. I use blue ink pens. So I found a black ink pen and I started writing the stuff. And she sent me an email. And it was so kind of her. And she was like, great job getting all those documents together. I just need you to send these things, print this out and send it to me, and do it in black ink. And she was being encouraging because her first sentence was, great job getting all them documents. You're almost there. I need this stuff in black ink. And I was like, I sat there. I took the moment to feel the disappointment because I felt the disappointment in that moment. And then I was like, okay, I found my black ink pen. I started working. And then I made a plan. I looked up where I called the local library because the libraries hadn't been open. Um, but it turns out the libraries are back open now for limited services. So I called the local library. And the library was like, yes, you can come in. You can print up to 20 pages for free. And you can scan unlimited pages for free. If you're scanning and emailing to yourself, then yeah, you can do it for free. On the up and up. So I filled out everything I could here in black ink. And I was like, yes, it's gonna. I reached out to my daughter. We worked on the letter. Reached out to my son because apparently now that my son is 18 and he has an internship before he goes off to university, and it's a paid internship. He has to fill out paperwork too because he's still my dependent and will be living with me. So, yay! Okay, so now we get to today. I went to work and I got to work early, and I had my own paper to use my own resources, and I started printing and scanning and printing and scanning and signing. Make sure it's black ink, make sure it was dark enough so it could be seen. And I sent her everything that I could in that moment of what I had. And she emailed back, "This is great. Everything came through. Thank you." So I was up, going on the up. Yes. Then finally got the letter, worked out with my daughter, sent that in. She said, "This is it. Yes. Great job." So I'm crossing off stuff. I'm getting my, this is my binder with my papers. I'm crossing off, getting everything together. Everything I sent her went through. I just have two more things, and those things are not in my control. Those things are from my son and his management. And I can't go to his management um, and get them things. And but you know, I stress the importance of it, and I have 10 days to do this because in 10 days, if I can't get into it, and it's business days, it's not just 10. It's I have until the 16th, June 16th, to get all of this into her. Because if I can't, then I have to start all the way over. If I want to try to continue, I have to start all the way over from appointment one. And if you've been with me, I'm not sure if I even told you how many appointments I've gone through to get to this point, but I think there's been 4 appointments, and this has been going on for maybe 2.5 months. I have to look at the videos and see if I mentioned it in the check-in. Um, so yeah, that's where we are now. I was feeling very, because this is June, and I am definitely feeling the crunch. However, the other good thing, and I guess I take it as a blessing. I might be uncomfortable, but I take it as a blessing. I was informed that I don't have to worry about the June time frame. Um, there was no time frame given, but I don't have to worry about the end of June time frame. So that is a blessing. Um, that doesn't mean I'm gonna put less pressure on myself because it's a lot of stuff still going on, and it would be so much better to be moved before August, just for school being settled when my son goes off to university and when my daughter um, goes into the next grade and the next school year, to really be settled in my own home by that time would be awesome. And that really is the goal. So I really appreciate the blessing of an extension, and it was an extension without a rent raise or a rent hike, which is even more of a blessing. It's just this process um, is stressful for me, and it's a lot of self talk. Like, I can't do this. This is a big thing, trying to buy a home that I never really knew if I wanted to own a home, but I do know that I would like for my daughter to stay in one school because she really enjoys her school, and the benefits of me being in this area for my son to get um, extra assistance through DC CAP, DC TAG. It's just a lot of benefits for me to stay here, and really the only way for me to stay here is to own something here. Because if I have to rent, I cannot really afford the rent in this in the city. But a mortgage is normally less expensive than rent, which is so weird to say that. So yeah, that's why I'm going through, and I'm holding on. I'm holding my notebook because I have my poem on my notebook, and it's "Don't Quit." Um, and I had to remind myself of this. There's been a lot of things. Um, Going back to university after you're older, and that's originally when I started this channel. I started this channel because I went back to university in 2016, and I'm in classes with people that are the same age as my children, and going through that process, and then going through the process of joining Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. Again, being an older woman, joining and going actually through the process of joining the organization. So I've been, when I started this channel, I started it sharing how it feels to be an older person going through these processes. And now this is a new journey, a new process. So I'm sharing how it feels again to be an older woman going through this process of, and I've never really said it. I've always said, okay, I need to move, and I have a moving fund, and I'm moving. But I've never really, I think on this channel, I've never really just been like, I'm going through a home ownership journey because it's so big. Sometimes is I feel like maybe I cannot do this. So if I say moving process and keep all the options open, then it's not me committing to this home owning process. And so I guess this is me having this conversation, committing to doing this home owning process to the best of my ability. Now, if something changes and I don't have as much time as I think I might have in this location until I can get the house, I will still be going through this home owning process. I would just have to figure it out another way. Like if maybe another family member will allow us to stay in their home until I get my own house, then that's what I'll do. But I am going to see this through to see how I can do this and if I can do this. And if it turns out that I just cannot, like the programs just don't work for me and there's no way they can get me in a house, then at least I can say I committed to it. I gave it all I had and I tried. And there would be no shame in it. It would not be a failure because I did everything I could do to make it happen. So yeah, that's where I am now. Thank you for watching. Um, yeah, I debated this going back and forth. Oh, and also to put words to what the program is, I am trying to get the, I think it's called HPAP and EPAP um, grants, grants um, for assistance. Um, and HPAP and EPAP are two different things. EPAP is for DC government employees, and HPAP is for um, anyone in general. But I think it's really for low to moderate income My screen keep going dark. It's for low to moderate income DC residents, I believe. So those are the two programs that I'm getting all this paperwork for and trying to get into to get the assistance to purchase the home. All right. Thank you again for watching. Um, Thank you for being a part of this journey. Uh, some of my most of thank you for being a part of this journey. It's so weird because I do videos on so many different things. So from the time I started, how my journey, it's just been my life and my journey and different things that I'm going through. So I thank you for watching. Thank you for being a subscriber. If you know someone that's going through the journey too, and this video might help them, please share it. Feel free to share. Um, and I appreciate you. Bye. And I'm gonna do y'all know this poem? I always ask this question as if y'all can answer me. So I will read it to you. A lot of it I know because I had to memorize this, but it's been a minute. So it's don't quit. When people pull you down, and oftentimes they will, when the battle you're fighting seems all uphill, when your funds are low and your debts are high, when you're laughing although you rather cry, when you feel yourself slowing down a bit, stop, take a breath, but don't you quit. Success is failure turned inside out, a silver tint in a cloud of doubt. You can never tell how close you are. You may be near when it seems afar. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. Is when things go wrong. We must not quit. And so I really needed to refresh and remind myself of this. I learned this when I was going through the process of joining my organization, and it still rings true throughout all my life journey that I may be near when it seems afar. So right now it does seem afar, but I am probably closer than I think. So again, thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I hope I helped someone. Bye.